Now here's one of my best of the best. This is a hurricane, like you saw in the last video, Monarch. So it's a visual Monarch with the Hurricane Gene. What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Monarch Gene, which is a T-positive albino strain in ball pythons. There's actually three main T-positive albinos. The original, which is the caramel albino, which some people claim has some breeding difficulties in the female. Sometimes you get some deformities. I've had some pretty good luck with that caramel line, but I know there are some lines out there that are not that vigorous. The replacement kind of for caramel albino was Ultramel. Ultramel is very similar in looks. I've actually shown you what an Ultramel caramel together look like, which is called the Caramello, first created by Vin Russo. But the point is that they're not compatible with each other. So if you breed a caramel albino to an Ultramel, you get double hets. You don't get, T-positive albinos. It's a different genetic defect, and therefore they sit in a different genetic locus. So you're not going to be able to have compatibility between those. There's a third line of T-positives known as the Monarch, which a lot of people claim is the best of them all because it's more purpley. I work with all three. I have to say that, I think the Monarch is probably the least, prevalent. So in other words, not as many people have it, so I think it's more desirable. Whenever there's less of something, it tends to be more desirable and more people want to get it. But I love the Monarch. I have a lot of projects coming up with Monarch. I'm going to show you some visual Monarchs and some combos I made. I don't have a lot of visual stuff because a lot of it's still on the back burner, so to speak, hopefully being made this coming season. I know there's a lot of cool stuff out there that has been made though too, so really the limits are your imagination. So let's go into the snake room and take a look. All right, a little blue tongue skink action here. Get us started off. This is my girl. I really like this girl. She's so nice. These are really my pets. I have no luck breeding these guys, but one of these days maybe I will, but I don't even care. I just love them. They're so, I've had them for a long time now. I've had them for many years, over 5 years. So she's just like a cool little lizard that I got in my collection here. Yes, you're such a good girl. Say hi. All right, a little Monarch video, as we said in the intro. This is a standard, pretty much, Monarch. This girl was born last year in June, so she's about a little over a year old. You can see it's one of the nicest T-positive albinos that are out there. She just shed too, which is kind of cool. Get a little shed out of there. And when they're born, they're kind of purplish looking, but they're albinos in the sense that they have melanin removed, but it's a T-positive albino. And what that means is only some of the melanin has been removed. So it's not a total lack of ability to produce melanin. It's a lack of ability at one of the steps of melanin production to produce adequate amounts of it. So you get this like diluted form of albinism. And in ball pythons, there's a lot of different lines. There's Ultramel, there's Caramel, there's Monarch. And a lot of people think the Monarch is the nicest one. I don't know. Sometimes I see caramels and I'm like, they're really nice too. They all have their own thing. These are a little more purple usually, and I think a lot of people like that aspect of it. And they're much rarer. So because they're rare, I think more people want them. Now here's same litter, or same clutch, I should say, clutch mate. This is a Hurricane, and I have a lot of Hurricane stuff. And it's Het Monarch. So you get the Hurricane swirls. It's a little reduced pattern for most Hurricanes. It's usually the Hurricane's a little bit more busy, but this is a single copy Hurricane that's 100% Het Monarch. So you can tell in the recessive or in the Het form, which is only one copy of Monarch that's contained, so you don't really see very much Monarch. There's nothing bleeding through. There's no indicators or anything like that. It's a typical recessive trait in the single copy form. There's no phenotypic or visual cue to indicate that there's anything other than a normal here. Now here's one of my best of the best. This is a hurricane, like you saw in the last video, monarch. So it's a visual monarch with the hurricane gene. I produced 2 of these. I believe I was the first person to produce these guys. And I sold one. And this little boy has been putting on some nice size recently. I maybe even mid-season for 2024, we might even get this guy to actually breed, which would be really cool. So far, we've been dealing pretty much exclusively with just hets. So we have a lot of cool het stuff going on. That's het monarch. I'll show you a Mandarin het monarch. We have some double het monarch stuff. We actually did a double het monarch clown. It's a double het monarch clown this past year, and we didn't hit the visuals. We wanted to do double recessive visuals, but we did pretty good. We did pretty good. So as you can see, you add a lot of darkness to the monarch. Like hurricane, you're going to get a lot more contrast. You get the hot hurricane swirls, and it just, you get more. When I say contrast, meaning that from the darks to the lights, you can see a much bigger discrepancy. Now, if you put pastel in this, you'll see less contrast because pastel washes out a lot of the monarch. So dark seems to work really well with T-positive morphs. All right, here's my big breeder monarch male. This is the male that started it all. I bought him many years back. He actually bred to this girl that he's with now, her mother. She was a hurricane spider because I wanted to get the monarch and hurricane gene together. We produced this girl who is a hurricane spider het monarch. We bred them together, and that's how we produced the first hurricane spider. So we're repeating that breeding because the hurricane monarchs are so nice. And I never produced a hurricane spider monarch, which would be interesting to see what it looks like. The spider monarchs, I suspect, would be very light looking, so you might lose some of the contrast, but it might look pretty cool anyway. So I'm interested to see what a hurricane spider monarch would look like, and we might get some here. This girl is nice and beefy. She definitely got some eggs in her, and hopefully we'll see a clutch of eggs from her shortly. All right, figure I'll just pop this one into the video because someone was asking me they wanted to purchase a leopard lavender albino male for me. This was produced in May of last year, this little boy, and he's just getting his lavender colors in, but he's really nice, and beautiful little boy. The lavenders with the dark colors also look really, really nice, like the T-positive monarchs do, because lavender is, basically albino, only in purple. And when you add darkness to it, you get more contrast in the pattern, and that's, these leopard lavenders look really, really nice. You can see all the pattern pops more. And that's because of the fact that, once again, dark turns yellow, when you take away the melanin in a ball python. And so if you really want that yellow to pop off the canvas, the more dark you have, the better it's going to look. Now this is one step beyond what I just showed you. So this is leopard blackhead lavender. So even more darkness in here, getting those really defined stripes. They look like they're gold flaking almost on this and you can actually see this one, you can see actually the lavender coming in on the head here. When they're born, they're all white, and then this, little by little, all this white will turn like a lavender purple, and that's what they call lavender albinos. Really beautiful, and it's not compatible with regular albinos. So if you breed a lavender albino to a regular, you don't get visuals, you get double hets. So it's a completely different gene, which is kind of really cool. Ball pythons have so many cool genes. Here's a really nice little baby. I don't even know why I haven't listed her yet. She definitely should be up on Morph Market, but she's not. This is from May of 22. This is an orange dream, possible high, I think it's high intensity too. High intensity orange dream. Freeway. So freeway being the allelic combination of yellow belly and asphalt. And when this thing was born, it was smoking orange. And you can see like the radioactivity look of this snake, and that's where you get the high intensity from. And this is a very well started female. Once again, she's about 1.5 years old. If anyone's interested, reach out to me. I didn't even realize we still had her. I haven't listed her, so she's nice, really nice. I love the freeway allelic combination of yellow belly and asphalt. And the reason they call it freeway is because it looks like it's got the line down the middle, like if you were driving on a highway or freeway. The highway version is a different gene combined with yellow belly, but this is I like the asphalt yellow belly combination better in the freeway form. Now here's an off the wall version of what I just showed you. This is most likely a super high intensity, super orange dream, super enchy freeway. So a lot more genes in there. We have 2 copies of Orange Dream, 2 copies of High Intensity, and most likely 2 copies of Enchy. If there's not 2 copies, there's at least 1 copy of Enchy in here, and we have this like nutty looking freeway combination with tons of orange. Another male, if anyone's interested. This is also about 1.5 years old. This guy will probably breed soon. He's got some pretty good size. I probably should keep him, but can't keep everything, as they say. Really nice. He's still holding his color really nicely. And a lot of these guys, as they get older, will sometimes fade a little bit, but he was pretty nutty when he was born, and he's still looking pretty impressive. So. All right, here's some more snakes that I keep realizing that I have not listed. This is a pied that's het for clown, so 100%, 1.5 years old. If you're looking to get into the clown pied project, this is a great way to do it. I forgot I even had this. I'm going to show you three beautiful males that can get you in there at a reasonable price. This is a really nice pied, and it's really well balanced in white to pattern. Sometimes they're all white, or sometimes there's too much pattern. This is perfectly balanced. This little boy. Now this is Enchy pied het clown. So this is even one step closer if you want to get into the Enchy clown pied project, which obviously gives you a lot less white. Enchy, this guy's in shed, sorry about that. But you can see there's a lot less white because when you put Enchy into the clown, in the pied project I should say, you get more pattern, less white. Which is good because some morphs like leopard can steal, pattern. You don't want a completely white pied, because then you can't see the contrast, especially if you're gonna put clown and pied together. So Enchy clown pied stuff is really good. So this is Enchy pied het clown male. He is available, so you can reach out to me on this one too. And then here's a really good female if you're looking to get into this project and you want to kind of pair up something. This is an Enchy het clown het pied. So 100% het pied, 100% het clown. She just shed. She's looking really nice, and she's got some nice size in her. She's well started for being a little over 1 year old. And once again, you can get into the clown pied project for a much reduced cost over what it would cost you if you purchased an actual visual. And you can pair this girl up with the clown het pied I showed you before. I even have a double het clown pied if you wanted to go cheap as possible, and you can just pray for the odds on those. But they're all 100% het, so there is a chance. And like I've seen it happen. I've seen people breed triple het to triple het and hit it on the first try. So you never know. It's really, there's a lot of luck involved with breeding, and sometimes if you say your prayers, you might get what you wish for. And we might as well show this off while we're looking at my rack of for sales, which are not necessarily all listed. This is OD Orange Dream Pastel Fire Clown male. Wow, this is from 21. This guy is ready to breed. I can't believe I still have him. I should probably put him into the breeding program at this point, but he is really nice. I'm pretty sure he's fire. Fire's the only thing I'm not, he's pretty yellow, so I think he's fire. I definitely think he's fire, but he's definitely Pastel Orange Dream Clown, ready to breed. Doesn't get much nicer than that if you're looking for some kind of visual clown to really get into the clown breeding projects. This guy will put you in there. He's a great eater, and he's ready to go, for sure. And last snake for today. This is what I believe to be a GHI, I don't know, This just might be a Mojave. Looks like a GH. You know, originally I thought it was GHI Mojave, but it's not. With pastel in it. This is, I believe, just black pastel Mojave. Het pied. If you look, and we've talked about this before, GHI and black pastel really look hurricane-ish. And I don't believe there's any hurricane here, is there? Nope, no hurricane in here. But it looks very hurricane-ish. So that's the black pastel. Definitely is Mojave in here. So this is probably black pastel Mojave, het pied. And once again, this is a 21, so you guys, I don't know if I would say he's breeder ready, but probably by the end of the year, if you start really pumping him up with a little more food, he's gonna be ready to go. Really nice, reasonably priced. You like black pastel, you want to produce some panda pieds, this is a definite way into the project. Absolutely beautiful. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today here at Palumbo's Pythons and Boas. It was a sleepy Monday because the kids were off from school. We had parent-teacher conferences, and so I didn't really get to do that much, or as much as I would have liked in the snake room. Pablo was mostly in there. This is his last week before he's going on vacation, so we have a lot of stuff to do before he goes away. We're going to feed again. We fed 3 weeks in a row just so that get those ball pythons and boas up to size, get ready for this breeding season that's about to start. A lot of exciting stuff going on. You know, there's going to be some exciting pairings. Hopefully we'll make some really cool stuff this coming season. Hopefully you guys are starting to plan your breeding season, and maybe you've already started. Some people like to start a lot earlier than, you know, I tend to wait until around Halloween, you know, first week in November to start pairing up the ball pythons. Although I've been breeding ball pythons and pairing them up since the whole year because it was such a crazy season, but I mean the new stuff. And the ball python, and in the boas, I don't usually pair up till December 1st, maybe it's right before that. So, but it's going fast and we're coming up on this. So hopefully you'll enjoy today's video. I like to show you cool stuff when I get a chance. If you did, show us the love. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, hit that like button. I'll see you back tomorrow morning. Here's Logan.